Hi, and welcome back to Well Read Witch, where we abandon this channel for like 2 months every 3 months. Um, I know I am very much aware that I said that my next video will be my August TBR, but that did not pan out because something had happened, and then it didn't make sense to post the TBR video in like the second week of August. And then, well, I it just slipped through my fingers, and then I wanted to get back into it like in September, but like September 2nd is my birthday, so I just wanted to be present in the moment. In September last week I was just sick, so I couldn't do anything. So this week stars aligned somewhat, so here we are. This vlog, today is Monday, by the way. For somebody who claims that they want to not pay too much attention to Formula One, I sure do love recording my vlogs and videos during the Formula One weekend. Last week, there was no Formula One race. I could have easily managed everything, but I just did not because I hate myself. August, similarly, most of the August, I think it was summer break. I did not have to focus on Formula One or like what is happening with Ferrari, the typical thing that I do as a tifosa. What was I trying to say? So, in a typical fashion, this is a Formula One weekend, but today is Monday. In this vlog, by the end of Saturday, I want to say, because I edit on Sunday and like post on Sunday, I want to have read. I want to have finished Katabasis by RF Kuang. It is one of my most anticipated novels of the year. I mean, anything RF Kuang writes, I want to read it. Did the same thing with Babel, did the same thing with Yellowface. Still have not read Poppy War, but we'll get there someday, sometime. Yeah, but the thing is, if you are aware that I work for 9 hours a day, I have a 40 minutes break. I cannot take this chunker to my office, but I also don't want to like shift mediums in between. So I have decided that I'm starting two books on the same day, which just never really happens because I am firmly of the belief that like I'll finish a single book and then I can concentrate on the other book. But the thing is, I can't carry this to my office because it is a huge chunker. I can't do that to myself. So today I started another novel in my break, which was out on a limb. I have heard good things about this because of the fact that people who do not like the pregnancy trope love this because it is handled very carefully in the book. But I don't have any opinions on like pregnancy trope, so I am just like, you know what? If people who do not like the trope are reading it and enjoying it, so maybe if I don't have any opinion, I can enjoy it too. And like I saw this clip of the author talking about her process, and it's like, yeah, this is in my Kindle. I'm going to read it. That was the entirety of my thought process for starting this book. Katabasis. Two academics. I've read like 16 pages. Like I read it for half an hour today early in the morning. So I've only read like the first 16 pages. In those 16 pages, we do not get introduced. We just like are thrusted straight into the plot essentially. um our main characters, Alice and Peter, they are going to hell because of the fact that Alice wants a recommendation letter from her supervisor who died, and now we are journeying to hell to bring his soul back. At least that is the gist of what I have gotten. Now, the thing is, my critique before having read this book was, why can't you guys get a recommendation letter from literally anyone else? Why are we going into hell? Excuse me. Uh, but like that got resolved in like the first 10 pages because this guy is very reputed among in academia circles, so a recommendation letter from him basically means you are set for life. And which person who is in academia or like is trying to get into academia does not understand that qualm. So that is the goal of this blog. We are reading Katabasis, we are reading out on a limb. I will try to prioritize Katabasis, but the truth of the matter is, in the 40 minutes that I did read out on a limb, in my office break. I was laughing out loud. But this does not particularly have anything to do with the book itself. The book is reminding me, like the banter essentially among the characters, it is reminding me of the things that I find funny in like my real life. So there's a lot of relatability factor there. And um yeah, I as much as I want this week to be about Katabasis, I am finding myself drawn towards Out on a Limb. And the thing is, I've read like I think what I'll do is for today, at least I'll try to prioritize Katabasis for like 2 hours at least. And then whatever remains, I'll put it towards Out on a Limb, and that will be the end of it. And we'll see, because I am definitely reading Out on a Limb on my break tomorrow anyway. I'm not taking Katabasis with me. I'm not downloading or like purchasing the ebook version of Katabasis so I can read it in the office. I'm not that invested, but also because it's been a while since I've read like a physical book. I want to read a physical book as well, so I don't want to shift mediums. And just yeah, that is all this is about. We are not trying to shift mediums, we are trying to stick to the physical copy of the book, and we have a backup option for when we get bored in our office break. That is it. Welcome to the vlog. I hope I stick to it. I hope I actually read this book, that book as well. I hope we finish Katabasis in this week. Yeah, yeah. See you in the next clip. Bye bye. This is going to be some vlog because I don't have any B-roll footage. I don't have like things to say about this book. Whatever thoughts I had, I summarized it in a short, which was basically me being like on the 160 page mark in the book, being like, I want to do a PhD too. That was all there was to it. That was all the scope of my thoughts. I think that I am reading this book with half the attention it deserves because I am really enjoying the info dumpy bits. Because, like, bro, my brain loves that. Um, and I lied. In the first clip, I am saying that, like, literally 3 seconds ago for you, I am saying that I will not take this book to the office and read it there. But I did do that. Because, like, on Tuesday, I left the book at a point early in the morning where it was like, yeah, it was a very big development, and I could not read the book immediately when I had the next time to read it. So I took out my big bag so I could fit this book physically in it, and I could take it to my office. And I read, like, people were like, oh my god, you read such hefty books, how are you going to read this? And everybody was asking, like, by which point in the day do you think you will be like, how long do you think it'll take you to read a book? And I said a week, and everybody was like, just a week? It's like, no, just it's a week. It's a long time for me to like finish this book. But I have taken it a bit slower than I usually do. I really want to take in the story because it is close to my heart. I spent like 6 years in academia myself before jumping to industry. So everything they're saying about the industry, I'm like, did my colleagues think that about me when I left academia? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, the update is that I lied in the previous clip, and I am like on page 334 at this point, and things are brewing up. Things are getting spicy. Not spicy in the traditional spicy sense, but in the sense that we've had a few revelations about Professor Grime, and we've also had a revelation about one of the characters, and we saw Peter get angry. That was apparently a thing that has never happened before, because he's a very happy-go-lucky sort of guy, and that was really good. It was actually good to see like Peter express emotions, so that was lovely. What else? I am really adoring the descriptions of academia and how they are dealing with, like, or at least from Alice's perspective, how she thought about academia. There's so much of me in Alice, like, I'm not joking, but there was also, you could see that in that chase of validation, in that search of truth, as she puts it very aptly, she crossed the lines and she thought she was to blame. But the thing is, she is not to blame, because like there's a clear power dynamic thing that has happened there. And like, as much as you try to blame yourself that these sort of things happen because you were trying to approach it, the truth of the matter is, no, the person who is elder, the person who has a lot more authority, the person who is going to probably decide the rest of your career, has a lot more authority in any situation you are interacting with. There is always going to be that power dynamic, especially when you are in, like, doing your PhD courses. You will do anything your professor says, your advisor says, essentially, just to yeah, like, that is a real thing that happens. Like, I remember being sick and going anyway to school to college, because I did not want to miss my classes, because I was my professors, in comparison to Professor Grime, they're like very tame. So this is not a slight against them or anyone in that matter, to be honest, but like, there was this expectation on your shoulders that you were supposed to be there, you were supposed to do all the reading. If nobody else in the class is doing it, you are supposed to be the kid who goes through the text in a single night, despite how long you have to stay. There have been times I did not sleep during my masters because I was so busy trying to get the reading done for the classes, trying to get my revisions done, trying to get, just so I could like ask questions in the class, and like just so I could engage with the text properly. So and like, had I was not doing a PhD, I was not in Cambridge, I was not following this down the academia path as intensely as Alice is, and even I felt that pressure. So and like, my professors were 100 times better than Professor Grimes is described as. So like, not in any single scenario like can you be like, no, okay, if Alice is saying on surface that she was to blame, then like she is carrying the blame for that. No, that is not the way to go. Yeah, you need to know how to say no. You need to learn how to just stand up for yourself, because like, you need to know where to draw a boundary of like where you need to start taking care of your health. And yeah, like, there have been times when I was alone in my class because I was that scared to disappoint my faculty that I was not there. And I know, no, like, at least in my case, my professors did not do this intentionally. They did not put that pressure on me, but just because the rest of the class was not at all engaged in the text the way I was, it felt like a responsibility thing for me to actually go through the text, do close reading, do distant reading, do every sort of thing. So I was overcompensating on the behalf of my class. Because I, like, in my bachelor's, I was a bit more like, oh, everybody has different levels and stuff. And I was really excited to do my master's. But then when you are the only one engaging with the text that your master's demands, and like, in, after a point, your professors do start to look at you like, yeah, that does add a bit of pressure. So yeah, it is what it is. Coming back to the book, the idea is, how am I going to finish this book by Saturday? I don't know. The idea is that I will read at least 100 pages tonight. Like, I've read like 60 pages today. I've read like 60 pages today. The idea is that I'll read 100 pages more tonight. Then I'll read 30 in the morning, 30 in the break. So that's 160 pages. And by tomorrow evening, I will be done with the book. That is it. Now, the thing that could distract me As I've said in the previous clip, this is a Formula One weekend. Now, luckily or unluckily, the time for sessions is during my work hours. So, like, FP1 today was around 2 p.m. for me and it went on till 3 p.m. FP2 was at 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and like at 6:30 is when I get free. Now I don't need to watch the sessions because I kept up with them throughout the workday. So there is that. But tomorrow is qualifying and we are in Baku and I support Charles Leclerc. And if you know anything about Formula One and Baku and Charles Leclerc, it is the fact that Baku is Charles Leclerc's Saturday outing thing. Like he has 4 poles and like a sprint pole there, and I know I am setting myself up for disappointment. I know it. I completely know and understand it. But at the same time, how can you stop hope? How can you stop hope? How can you like not hope for it? Do is the car there? No. Like are McLaren's having a bad day? Yes. Like McLaren's are supposed to win the constructors championship this weekend, but like they just went ahead and had the most terrible Friday they've had in a while. Um, so why couldn't they have done this tomorrow? Why, McLaren? Why? Yeah, yeah. Like they, why today? Why not tomorrow? Do it tomorrow as well. Yeah, so if Charles gets pole tomorrow, I am at least wasting the time between me coming home and me like take eating dinner at 8 p.m. If he does not get pole because Ferrari did something stupid with the run plan, I am wasting that entire night. So I will have to wake up early on Sunday and like finish reading this book. So that is not on my that is not on my radar at all. I don't want to wake up early on Sunday because, well, Sunday is the only day I get to sleep in. I want to sleep in. Yeah. Even if he does not get pole, I just hope Ferrari does not ruin the run plans. So then it will be like, yeah, he tried his best. The car was not there. Um, yeah, man. Every one of us has been mourning the loss of Baku pole streak that Charles has, and like the car is so shit. Like, how did they manage to make a Ferrari should get an award for creating a car that is so shit that like even the fans are hello how did they manage this? I do not understand it. They brought a solution and the solution also did not. What? As you can see, I am very stressed about this thing. Like it has been 8 months since the season started, and I'm like, I just um, I I don't know what I hope for tomorrow. I just hope I get my book done somehow. I really hope I get reading in tomorrow. I hope I'm able to distract myself with this book. I hope the what? I hope the what? I hope this is. I hope that. What do I hope? I don't know. I have forgotten my train of thought here. I hope that whatever happens tomorrow in the Formula One qualifying session for Azerbaijan 2025. Wow, what way to butcher that. I finish my book tomorrow. That is what we are hoping. I hope tomorrow is easy at work as well, so I can actually like stay up a bit to read the book. Because I don't mind working on Saturdays, but then like you can't even stay up on Saturdays because like you're so tired. Like last Saturday I slept at 10 p.m. Granted, I was sick a bit and like I had a fever and stuff, but like hello, wow, these are supposed to be my peak years. Why am I sleeping at 10 p.m.? Okay, yeah, that is it. I have done like this is a 15-minute long clip. I should not be talking this much. Bye bye. So it is 10:38 p.m. I am reading Katabasis. Ignore my hair, ignore my getup. Today has been chaotic to say the least. I am aiming that I can get it done by 12 at night and then record like an end portion to this vlog and edit the vlog and upload it by tonight, because tomorrow is going to be very busy, so I don't think I'll be able to do the editing and stuff. And I really really want to post this. Like, it's been so long since I posted this because I kept on prioritizing life, which I know is like the point of life, but I just miss it. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to try to read the book, like finish the book by tonight. We are definitely recording the end bit. I do not know whether I'll actually be able to edit this stuff like tonight, and I'll try my best. But if I can't, I'll just have to wake up early tomorrow. All this for nothing. Now, normally I would like stand in front of my bookshelf to do this end part of the video, but I am so tired right now that let's just have a cozy chit chat here. It is 11:45 at night, and I've just finished Katabasis. It's like Kataba. It is Katab in Punjabi, so different pronunciations, different. So I just finished this book. In the first 100 pages, this book made me want to do my PhD. In the next 100 pages, I was so enthralled by Alice and Peter and how they interact with each other. In the next 100 pages, um, things escalated and things were going great and things were going horribly for our characters. The plot was moving along. The 300 to 400th page mark was when sort of climax hit, and 400 to 540 page mark, no, actually 525 page mark, is where I would say the book dips a bit for me personally. Like, having two characters talk out these ideas was a good way of navigating the logistics of hell, and like figuring out different theories and talking about how things could work and like whatever was happening. But as soon as we hit that 400 page mark, something happens, a sacrifice is made, and the next 100 pages for me were a bit drab because there was no bouncing off each other. And like, I would say only those 100 pages felt a bit meh to me. And that twist at the 400th page mark was very angst slash hurt AO3 type of thing. But around 500 page mark is where the story picks up again, and like we start getting emotional stuff and scenes, and that was really nice to read. There's this character Magnolia. She does something that made me really really emotional, and to read what was happening from Alice's perspective was something that I do not think, like, I could easily see myself going back again and again to parts of this book just to reread stuff, and like especially that Magnolia scene, because like Alice revered her and like what she meant to, like what she stood for and like what she symbolized in Alice's eyes. That was really really nice to read, and like that scene was so emotional because Magnolia gets described as not a caricature, so to speak, not as a magician, not as a researcher, not as a mother, not as a wife. She is described as this whole entity that is just taking, like, she was this whole person and she was not attributed as a single part of a character, which was very nice and very refreshing to see. Then the next emotional scene comes when Alice gets reunited with one of two of the characters she had met, like through her journey in hell. And like both those scenes were really really emotional because you could see how much being in that situation at that point meant to these characters, and you could see how they were ready to take on the next phase of their soul's life. Then also one of the characters says one of these like, one of the characters says, "Go on, be brave, love." And that was like so touching. And I know, like, it's just a simple thing to say, but in the context of the book, that was so, so, so good to read. Like, it felt like a hug. And the next scene happens, and like, this is what we have been aiming towards for the entirety of the book. And this guy is so entitled. He thinks that like he still has power over Alice, that he can convince Alice to do whatever the hell he wants or whatever the hell is in his head. But Alice, oh my lovely, lovely Alice, she was like, no, I'm not going to do that, obviously. But yeah, I would say that for me, this is a, if I'm thinking critically and analytically judging this book, book is like 4.5 stars. But if I'm thinking about my personal enjoyment, it is definitely 5 stars, because like I really, really loved the tangents RF Kuang went on. Like, I know a lot of these philosophers and like ideation makers, idea thinkers that are mentioned in this book. And it was really nice to, like, have my masters come in handy while I was reading this book. So, if because the reviews I have read, people had an issue with RF Kuang going on tangents and being a bit too heavy-handed in like her plot structure and like the way she tells the story and stuff. I did not mind that. I did not mind that at all, because I was reading this book with half a brain on, because I was so tired from work. So I kind of appreciated what she did with this book. This book can be dense if you do not know the philosophers, if you do not know these great thinkers of our times. And like, for somebody who does not know, like, who does not know the Rida from Jacan, from Socrates to Gertrude, to, like, from Stein to, like, if you are not aware, if you do not know all these names, this book can seem pretty dense. But if you do, if you have a bit of academic background, I think you will really, really enjoy this. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that you would enjoy this. And like, I've said this in the previous clip as well, that this book deals with the way academia treats women, or like that power imbalance that takes place in a very sophisticated manner, is what I would say. Because like, there are so many times you think you are in control, but you really aren't. And that is what certain, like, specific people can have that sort of impact on you. And the thing was that this guy that they were searching hell for, he thought, like, even in the end, he thought he could make his students do whatever the hell he wanted, that he still had that sort of agency over them. And to see now Alice be like, just saying no and doing what she wants and not listening and not caring what he thought was like a good character arc and a good character growth thingy. Yeah, really enjoyed this book. Apart from that 100-page slump, because I just kept thinking about the other person. Like, yeah, I did not connect with the few characters that were introduced once that specific character was left behind. And I just kept thinking about them, and that was a bit shame, because I think if I reread it, like if I reread the book from page 400 to 540, like having had some space, I think I will appreciate this book far more than I'm doing right now. Like, I know 4.5 is not a bad rating at all. And like, if I'm considering my own entertainment, that's like 5 stars. And the average then becomes 4.75, which is not a bad thing to have, I guess, at the end of the day. But just, yeah, I cannot ignore the fact that like there was a chunk of 100 pages that I did not specifically really connect with. And that was the, yeah, yeah. Do I have anything else to say about the book? No. Formula One weekend, Saturday happened. Ferrari happened. They went with the setup that, like, I don't think they should have done that. And then Charles crashed. The moment Charles crashed, if you do not care about Formula One, you can skip ahead. I cursed out loud in my room, and then I started laughing because, like, what? Hello, hi. All of us have been thrown, like, he was driving the car on the edge. Um, the so that was sort of inevitable, but also it had started raining, so and the car did not offer him any grip. So he was a passenger basically at that point. So I don't know. And then on the next lap, Oscar crashed. I'm just like, all my favorites are suffering. Max got the pole though, so not all my favorites are suffering, but this, yeah, Charles Max and Oscar are my favorites, and two on three people suffering is not a good thing going going for the weekend. But anyway, I mean, Oscar is probably going to win the championship. Who cares about if he has like a bad race here? Oscar's direct rival. Oscar crashed. He's qualified P9. Like, he's starting on the fifth row. Oscar's direct rival is Lando. He had like the golden opportunity to put the lap together, but maybe their car was shit as well. But like, he could not do that, and he was also driving to the like edge of the limit. They were showing his final run in Q3, and I was just like, bro, what? How? Like, it was so on the edge knife thing. Like, hello, calm down a bit. He touched the wall quite a few times, but like, he survived the lap. But yeah, Max is Max. Carlos is starting P2 in Williams, which is very very nice for him and for Williams in general. Liam is starting P3. What is happening? This session was also like 2 hours long, which is like unheard of. The race itself is like 1.5 hours long. There were so many red flags during this session. I just yeah, this is it. This is going to be the end of the vlog. Tomorrow, I think I will post this at 3:30 or 2:30, or depends when the editing happens. I'm going to import all the footage stuff in the laptop now, and I'll probably wake up like at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow to edit and get it done before like 11:30. And so yeah, the day tomorrow looks busy, so I'll just have to schedule it. Like, I always schedule it, but like, I usually start my editing at like 11 a.m., but like, I can't do that tomorrow. This is so sad. I get one Sunday after 6 days. Can people stop? Can people stop bothering me on Sundays? Like, also on a race Sunday. Why? Anyway, I don't have any hope for tomorrow's race, Ferrari wise. Otherwise, I hope it is chaotic. That is all I can hope for my own entertainment. I'll just ignore Ferrari. Um, I say that now. But if they do something stupid with the strategy, I'll be the first one in line to be like, why have you guys done that? I'll put the meme half the time watching Ferrari. I am this cat. Yeah, this is the end of the vlog. I hope you enjoyed that. It was really really fun reading Katabasis for this vlog, and somehow I was able to finish this book in like a week, which I do not think I would have done otherwise if it had not been for this vlog. I will see you soon. I do not know what the next video will be, but hopefully I think it will be another vlog because this format is fun. This format is really really fun. Okay, yeah. Bye bye.